Hacks, and today we're going to be doing something different. So today I thought of making a type of playlist for like the top OWASP top 10 web vulnerabilities, just because I just wanted to share my knowledge, and because it's also really fun making videos. So today we're going to be talking about LFI. So LFI is basically also known as local file inclusion. This is the process of that files that have already been that are already in the server locally, and um, hackers are trying to basically try to access those files, maybe like files which are not supposed to be on the website. Like you have a bunch of image files, but let's say the hacker is trying to access your Etsy password file, and the hackers can do this by various number of exploitations. Basically, it all depends on the server. If the server is not is vulnerable to LFI, it's really easy, but sometimes it's not always vulnerable to LFI. But sometimes hackers also get a hang of it and they try to exploit anyway. So now we're gonna try to go do a demo of basically LFI and how it works. You'll get more sense. First go to application security if you guys want to do it with me. So application security, and you can just hover over this play demo button and just click OWASP top 10 for web. Wait, I'll show you something. So when you do this, if we hover over it, you can see that there's OWASP top 10 for web, OWASP top 10 for API, AWS top 10, and front end top 10. So basically, you can basically train yourself. Basically, it's called application security training. You can see these and you can like play around. It's basically a demo on how things work. So OS top 10 for web, you can just click that, and here we see loads of stuff here. But what we want to do is directory traversal. This is basically also known kind of like LFI, but it's renamed a little bit. So here it shows the application. Deal Hub is an online marketplace for electronics, appliances, and video games. We can just, when you're ready, you can click the next button. So just read this, and we're ready. Second, penetration test. Alice, the CTO of Deal Hub, has engaged a cybersecurity consultant, Bob, to perform regular penetration tests against Deal Hub's e-commerce platform. So this is Deal Hub's e-commerce platform. Note, what is penetration testing? You can read through this if you don't know what that means. But we can click next, and we can browse the application. Having successfully loaded a sample product web page, Bob begins his security assessment. So this is Bob, the evil guy. By browsing through the web page, mapping keys features that perform a manual review of the site's user interface. So basically, we can just look around and see. We can see this is Bob. He made this test site just to see if it's good or not. As Bob, interact with the highlighted laptop thumbnail image to make it larger. So we just need to click on this, and he sees this. Image preview is accepted. As expected, clicking the thumbnail displays a model window with a larger version of the product image. Bob further notices that the URL generated by the model window contains the following query parameters. Name is equal to tech735. You can see that the name is also equal to tech735. The folder name is product files, and the file name is tech735.jpg. So the issue with this is say hackers normally would like to so we know this that tech735 is in the current directory, so we can just like maybe type like Etsy password and we might get it, but it won't allow me to type anything now because that's what we're supposed to do next. So just click next, and before Bob, Bob proceeds with the exploitation of the vulnerability, this vulnerability is LFI vulnerability. Let's take a quick look at DealHub's backend code using the served product preview images. So we're going to analyze the code now. So DealHub developers have implemented the get thumbnail for product method for serving products preview images. So basically this function, what it does, it gets the images for the products, the thumbnails basically for the products. The implementation first extracts the folder name and file name parameters from the get request. So basically it's getting the folder name of the where the image is stored and the file name. They are then used to construct the large file path. Then we can see that the thumbnail base path and the folder name and the file name is appended on the URL. Without any further validation, the target file is read. Now it's just going to read the target the file, and is written to the response, resulting in the file contents being displayed in the browser. So basically it's read it, and now it's going to give us, and we can look at the thumbnail of the product. We can do next. So what it's saying here, having analyzed the URL parameter and image preview functionally, Bob attempts to modify the original URL by replacing the value of file name parameter tech375.jpg with the following string. So we're gonna change this. This is the one right now. We're gonna change it to the Etsy password. The reason we have this is sometimes you can't just access Etsy password just normally doing it. So we can say this, but what this basically does is like climb up the the folder files and go to Etsy password. So we can just copy this, delete that, and we can paste this, and we can just hit enter. And now you see we have the whole Etsy password content. So basically this is the content of the Etsy password, and it says 7 attacks successful. Interesting, by simply changing the file name parameter to the relative path string // Bob has managed to trick DealHub preview applet into displaying the content of DealHub's web server password file. Note: the ability to get an application to resolve file paths like this and to display the file's content is also known as directory traversal attack. It allows the attacker to access and explore the server's file system, possibly extracting sensitive information. That's the reason this is a really big issue. That's why loads of big companies are like trying to solve it. So this is a vulnerable code. To further understand the root cause of the directory traversal vulnerability, let's take a look again at the source code used to generate the image URL. So this is the source code. We can analyze the code. If Bob submits a request with a file name like this, the resulting file path might target a high sensitive part of the file system. This is a really highly sensitive part of the file system, so that's why he wanted to access it, because most hackers want sensitive parts of the file system, not like the lower ones. Since no validation on the target file is performed, the content of that sensitive file are displayed in the browser. That's why we need to validate first. If it's one reason how you can one way you can mitigate this LFI is to have loads of validation by checking the file and stuff like that. And the mitigation plans. The most effective way to prevent the directory traversal vulnerabilities is to avoid passing user-supplied input to the file system APIs altogether. Many applications can functions that do this can be rewritten to deliver the same behavior more securely. However, if this is not possible, the application should perform strict input validation against the parameters. That's what I just said. So it's just saying to put like a very strict input validation against the parameters that are intended to be used for system operations. These include path validation and absolute path checking of user supplied data. Let's see how the above best practices can be applied to our vulnerable code example to prevent the directory traversal attacks. The target file path is constructed as before, but instead of trusting the folder and file names submitted by the request, we now double check the path of target file. This is saying how we can prevent it. So we are double checking the path to see if it's like in the higher sensitive part of the file system. Only if it corresponds to the expected base path where the images are stored. So the image files where are stored could be like at the base, and only if it's at the base path it would allow for the images to show up. But say if it's like really high in the sensitive part of the file system, it might not give us. We read the file and it returns in its content in the response. So this is for the base part. If the path differs, we know someone is trying to access files that we want to keep outside of their reach. So that's it, I'm pretty sure. Yep, so that's it. So those are basically the mitigation plans of say to like kind of prevent LFI. And some other ones is also to maybe also maintain a whitelist of accepted file names. So basically, like say Etsy password, it could be a whitelist from the accepted file names, and the only accepted file names could be like laptop.gpg, JPEG, or headset.gpg, PNG, or something like that. So if they do try to access it, it comes out like 403 file not found or something like that. Yeah, we can also we could never trust the user's input, and if we can also do like like whitelist and stuff like that. So yeah, and maybe that's mostly it. So if you guys want to, that's a video for now. But if you guys want to say like practice LFI or something, Try Hack Me is doing a Advent of Cyber 3. Basically, this happens every year when it's near Christmas time. Advent of Cyber gets started with cybersecurity in 25 days. Learn the basics by doing a new beginner-friendly security challenge every day leading up to Christmas. Basically, this starts 25 days before Christmas, and we do cybersecurity every single day. There's new challenges, and so tasked one day. So if you really want to like say if you're new to hacking, I really recommend Advent of Cyber 3 and Try Hack Me. It's completely free. And say if you want to get better at your LFI, I recommend doing day 6. This day just came out today, but this is really good. Is mainly it's focused on LFI and how you can get LFI, how you can get RC from LFI. So I really recommend doing this, and I guess that's it. So see you guys later. Peace.